Good afternoon, good evening, this is John Paul Wright. I'm coming from Tokyo, Japan. Today I want to talk about this phrase that everyone's heard that's been going around for a really long time, the thing that'll bring the Star Wars fan base back together. I've heard other people use this, and I think what they really mean is just simply something that both sides of the fan base will like, not necessarily bring the fan base together. But for people who really think that the fan base is going to come together, I don't. Obviously, this is speculation, it's my opinion, but judging from my side, it seems to me that I've kind of found out what a certain portion of the fan base thinks and is. Because if you are on the side of, like in The Last Jedi, what happened with Luke Skywalker, characters like Holdo and Rose, and poor storylines being injected into a classic franchise, then I don't really think we're ever going to be on the same page with Star Wars 100%. I'm not saying I can't get along with you, I'm not saying we can't be friends, we'd probably have a beer and, whatever, a few laughs, but when it came down to Star Wars, I don't think we're ever going to be on the same page if you really like the titty monster, and Rey kind of whipping around Luke a little bit, and just the really poor things like the spaceship running out of gas. There's a lot of science behind this, and when a spaceship's going at full speed across the galaxy and the gas, quote-unquote, runs out, it doesn't stop. Spaceships keep going, they have momentum in space. It's not like it just, putters out like a car and stops. So, there was also some things in The Force Awakens about where Kylo is watching, all these planets get blown up at one time. They're in different galaxies, I think. I'm not sure, but there was just a couple of scientific things in that too, and I think it's safe to say that there was a couple of other silly things in The Last Jedi, like the famous Your Mama's joke, and if one side of the fan base is going to defend that and love it and really enjoy that, I don't think we're ever going to meet eye to eye on Star Wars. There's not ever going to be one great movie that's going to bring us together in the same place and be like, alright, yeah, we love Star Wars again now. There might be something that we both like. If it's good, it's good. And the other thing I'm wondering is, what does it take for someone who liked The Last Jedi not to like a Star Wars movie? It kind of feels to me like they'd like almost anything that happened, because a lot of stuff in The Last Jedi was about as bad as it gets, as far as just feeling like it was unenjoyable. It wasn't Star Wars. It was kind of fake. It was really almost as bad as I can imagine, without going crazily off the hook and trying to make it bad. So I'm wondering, what does it take? If you're actually listening to this and you like The Last Jedi, the Disney Star Wars, what would it take for you not to like it? What would it take for you for the movie to not be enjoyable? I'm trying to figure that out. The other thing is, it's really hard to bring this fan base back together because there's been infighting now. There's been name calling by Rian Johnson and other people defending Star Wars in the media and on Twitter and articles and shills and things like that, and now people's feelings have gotten involved. And I fought that with the mass media and the shills because they're professionals who should not get involved in actual name calling with fans, subscribers to YouTube channels, subscribers to their magazines online. They're supposed to take the higher ground, be professionals, suck up criticism, maybe have a tasteful defense for the criticism, but they should never call names to customers, basically. So I'm going to have to think logically it's their fault on that side. And I know there's some bad apples on our side, that is, our side who dislike the Disney franchise and The Last Jedi especially, but, unfortunately that's life. Those people are just going to say their mind, F-bombs, things like that, and they're customers. When a customer gets mad at something, they get mad. If you get mad in a restaurant because you get a cold steak, you might curse, you might yell at the waiter, you might, do whatever, but the restaurant can't say, well, you know what, you're a baby, maybe you should like cold steak. They eat sushi in Japan cold, shut up, baby, give us the money for the next meal. No, it doesn't really work like that. The restaurant has to be the bigger person and just say, okay, we're sorry, we served you cold steak. In the same way, the movie maker has to be, I'm sorry, didn't like the movie, and I'm sorry. That's it. Maybe you have a defense. Oh, there's a new guy here, or something like, oh, our bad, the oven broke, whatever. The point is, you can't call them a man baby or a hater for hating cold steak. Anyway, you guys let me know down in the comments what you think of that. I'll be on top of this a little bit more. I've had a few things back and forth online about this fan base issue and bringing the fan base together, and maybe one day somehow it's possible, but if there are going to be people who have defended these shills and Rian Johnson and The Last Jedi, it's not going to be easy to be together with them, so to speak. It's not like we could just go to a, Star Wars convention or something and buy all the same toys and it's never going to happen. Every time I see a Last Jedi thing, I'm going to cringe. Or a Rian Johnson thing, I'm going to cringe, and they're going to be like, oh, okay, this is nice. So, I just think the damage is done, and that's it. You guys let me know down in the comments what you think of this. I'm doing shoutouts, special thanks, Star Wars, Marvel. I was doing Game of Thrones. There's a lot of drama. I'm not really sure how that's going to go down and how qualified I am to get into it. So maybe Game of Thrones, maybe. I don't know. It's pretty crazy right now. See you next time.